Fifth place Loughborough Riders have made the 230-mile round trip to face the Solent Kestrels today. But don't let the weather fool you. It might be drab here, but the buzz is building ahead of the first match in a Kestrels double header. This is basketball like you've never seen it before. This is nothing but net.
Tell me, can we live? Tell me, can we breathe? Cause we'll sacrifice sleep if it means staying awake. Will help us live a dream. All we need is the green light. If you ain't ready, you'll get left. Cause I promise my team ride and we ready for whatever. If wings are made of feathers, then let's let our soul fly like we all on the same flight.
A repeat here of the first game of the season as Robbie Connell's Kestrels arrive in high spirits at home. Several returns from injuries in recent weeks, giving the coach something to smile about.
Hello everyone and welcome to
Channel as we've got NBL Dig 2 action. And it's Loughborough, it's Tor Freeman's Loughborough as well arriving now. A fantastic opportunity for them to pick up another win after a defeat last week. Partnership with Basketball England. Solent have the opportunity to stop the rot today before their season capsizes for good. The Kestrels have won just one match in 15 league games this season. They might be a team in transition, but the reigning champions will be hungry to do better as we move into the final 7 matches of the campaign. But today won't be an easy task. Their opponents, Loughborough, are flying high in 5th place, winning 3 of their last 5. They're now riding a wave of momentum after an inconsistent start to the season. But the Kestrels, on the other hand, are rooted to the bottom of the table. They've got a negative point difference of minus 385 across those 15 matches. That's the worst in the league by 98. And they're certainly a team who will have much higher expectations for themselves. And Flori Cotterill is one of those who will have set stronger standards. She was offered the chance to play for Wright State University in Ohio next season, but with such a poor campaign this year, will that offer still be on the table?
I've always been a sporty kid. School was definitely the biggest factor for me. Teachers definitely pushed me to be in sports because I was always the tall kid, I always had the advantage.
You also then went from just playing basketball as a bit of fun sport to then playing it competitively. The jump, how was it? It's
crazy, it's definitely, you go for fun and then you start giving yourself goals. Seeing them pay off in the end is like, ooh, I quite like the competitive side of this.
What has it been like, that transition from college to Kestrels level?
It's very different. It's going from being competitive, fun scenario to somewhere where it's just like competition. You're playing against some vets that have been in the game for like 10, 15, even like 20, 30 years.
The talent that they have, young talents, you know, with a couple of old experienced heads.
It's insane. You learn something from them every time you see them play.
I mean, last season, everything was so good for you, winning so much, but this season it's slowed down a little. How are you feeling about last year compared to this year?
It's such a big jump. We went from the best season anyone could ask for, like league champs, playoff champs.
The South Coast reigns supreme in Manchester.
Coming together as a group more, we have to learn to play together, going in as underdogs, playing tough. Like
Missing the experience, it's sort of a poison chalice, I guess.
All of that, just being that real tough mentality.
You've got a huge transition coming up as well. Yeah. Travelling over the pond. What was that call like when you agreed to go over?
It was one of the best feelings. I mean, I went out and I visited them and they made me feel like I was at home from that get-go. Family is key to me. Like, you'll see that basketball is my family.
Speaking about your second family, the basketball team, you're up against Loughborough.
We are indeed.
Once you played for me, you're always one of mine. So whatever you do when you move on, if you need help.
We had a tough result against them last time. We've definitely got better since then, fingers crossed. So it's great that you're always playing against familiar people.
We're now back at your home court.
We are, my little old outdoor court where it all started. I mean, it's just such an insane reality. This is kind of where I started to grind out a little bit and do my own work.
We're in the court, open space, no one watching, and a basketball appearing. Flori, do you know what I'm going to ask of you?
What are you going to ask?
Can you make a free throw?
We'll give it a go.
that is it for now. Back to the studio.
It's great to hear from Florrie Cotterill returning from injury now, and I'm joined by two qualified minds who've watched tons of her this season. We've got Lindsay Cleary and Jerry Merrill in the studio. Lindsay, how are you feeling about this game?
I think it'll be an exciting matchup. You know, these teams saw each other, I think, in November last. You know, it wasn't a great outcome for the Kestrels, so a lot of teams aren't who they are at the beginning of the season now, so we'll see what the matchup looks like today. What do you say, Jerry?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be really, really interesting. I mean, Loughborough coming off 3 wins in the last 5 games. But, you know, you never quite know which Loughborough team's going to turn up. And if Kestrels can perform to their best and play for 40 minutes, as Robbie Connell was saying earlier, then I think it's going to be a really, really good game. But Kestrels need to come out hard and fast and hit them early.
And we'll see if they do. We'll come back for some more analysis. But first, we've got words from both coaches courtside. Match reporter Joshua Stewart has the latest.
So, Robbie, you're playing Loughborough again today. Second time you're facing them this season. The first time it didn't quite go to plan, did it? What lessons did you take from that game?
What lessons did we take from that game? We got to turn up and play. That was, as a coach this year, probably my lowest point. I think we struggled. We didn't want to compete. We looked scared from the off. It was just, there's nothing positive I could really take from that performance. As you've seen in the last few weeks, we look much more like it. We're always better at home. And so I'm hoping for a much different result today, much different.
Obviously, last time out, you played at Barking Abbey, a very tough loss. It was neck and neck right until the very end of the final quarter. That's got to give you some confidence that you can push teams all the way to the end. Yeah,
girls were absolutely superb. And that's without, obviously, you know, a lot of our height. You know, Gabby and Florrie were both missing. The girls worked and worked and worked. There's some questionable refereeing calls, which led to us having 4 players fouled out in the 4th quarter. We've had 1 girl fouled out all season. To get 4 girls fouled out in the 4th quarter, hey, perhaps we really changed our style, or perhaps a few things got missed and some things got a little bit touch foully. But no, the girls are absolutely great. The girls were absolutely great last week. If we can bring the same energy to this game, then we'll give Loughborough a hell of a game today.
You mentioned Florrie. She has been missing for a little while with an injury. How important is it to have her back in the squad and be able to bring her off the bench?
Yeah, Florrie's really, really important. Not only is it just on the court, she has such a high basketball IQ. And she's just great to have around the place. Obviously, she still comes to training even when she's injured. She's still there. She's still in and around it. But having her out on the court, it's, you know, she does stuff. I don't think she realises just how much she does for us when she plays. Even if her shot's not going down or she's not getting the rebounds that she wants to get, what she does for us as a team is levels above that.
Finally, who else are you looking forward to today to help hopefully get that win and avenge the last time you played Loughborough?
It's always great to have Gabby back. You know, with that kind of experience and that kind of talent. She's probably going to be on limited minutes today. I'm going to try and get at least 15 minutes out of her, but having her back is always great. And obviously it's finally the return of Wilma, who, again, a lot like Florrie, even though, you know, she struggled shooting the ball at parts early in the season, she gives us so much more than just her shooting, her energy on the bench, etc. She's just great.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and good luck ahead of today. Or you come into this game off the back of a loss against Bristol. How eager are you to put things back to rights again against Solent today?
We're really excited to get out. The girls have been practicing really well this week. We had a really good win in box on Wednesday against Manchester Met, so through to the semis of the National Trophy. So everyone's ready to go for this week.
Last time you played against Solent, it was a big win for you guys. Are you confident you'll be able to replicate that performance?
Yeah, I think so. We've been improving as the year goes on. The younger players have really been contributing, and we're a really new group at the start of the season, so things have been getting slowly better, and we've been really looking good towards the bottom half of the year.
Talking about players developing, Daisy Porter has been leading your team in stats across the charts, whether it be points, whether it be steals, whether it be assists. How important is she to your success?
Yeah, Daisy's a really big part. She came with me from my previous team last year from Oakland, so it's nice to have her. But I think what makes us really difficult is that everyone contributes and there's not just one player, so no one's quite sure who to guard, what to guard and when.
Against the Solent team, I've seen their form pick up in recent weeks. What was your game plan today to hopefully make sure that you can add another win to your column?
As a young team, we just tend to focus on ourselves. If we do the things that we control really well, we tend to have success. So that's our mindset going into every game.
Thank you for talking to us and good luck ahead of today.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely fantastic to get some insights from both coaches today. But let's take a bit of a deeper look at the Kestrels. Lindsay, you've prepped a clip for us.
Yeah, so if we take a look, we can see some good ball pressure coming from late, forcing the other team to kick the ball outside. Here you can see kind of the teams focused on preventing that inside presence from the other team, so they're able to look for that steal there and get that to prevent that kind of advantage the other team had on them in that moment.
Yeah, I think having somebody like Kostova Dobreva come into the team, into a very young team with all of her experience, ex-Bulgarian international, 6'3", you know, real presence on the court, and to bring that experience and that leadership really, really helps. There's a great example there of her ability, her basketball IQ, to be able to read the game and to just drop and come up with the steal.
Absolutely, and it's definitely one to keep an eye on, Dobrova as well. We can look at the next clip that you've prepped for us, Jerry.
Yeah, sure. So Brent again, not the best defence up the top on the ball, enabling Brent to get open. Great help D there on the baseline from Annie Scanlon and Faith McDowell, able to drop, cut off the drive. Unfortunately, Brent do get the loose ball back, but an example of how the team has come together and starting to understand one another and play top D.
Yeah, I think you can see the awareness that the team has here to play for each other, to be ready to help. You know, 2 players went to help when the ball went inside, and then as the ball went back around the outside, the secondary help rotation was there in order to prevent, you know, an uncontested 3 being shot. So them playing for each other will be really important today.
And as a player, Lindsay, is that something you like to see from this team? The results aren't going that way, but they've still clearly got some togetherness.
Yeah, I mean, today will be a big defensive battle for Solent, so I think being able to see them trying to play for each other, being ready to help each other is going to be really beneficial for keeping them together no matter what the score is going to be today.
Absolutely. We've seen a bit of their defense, Lindsay. One last clip from you, looking at their offense instead. Let's take a look at that one.
Yeah, so here you can see some good spacing around the outside, allowing for the cut here. So she's able to get the ball inside what appears to be a clear lane to the basket. But then we're going to see go ahead and the help defense comes, and then she's ready to go ahead and step into that 3 from Bridson, stepping up, hitting the 3 down. I think really another good example of them finding each other.
Yeah, and again, it's a great example of an experienced player in the high post, being able to see the play as it's starting to happen. Faith McDowell able to get ahead of a defender, turn the corner, and Annie Scanlon just able to drop off the bounce pass to her to cut down the lane. Defence has to drop, and Sansia Bryson's wide open for the 3.
Fantastic analysis, sorry guys. We'll move quickly to predictions. How do you think this game's going to go?
I think, like we said before, Loughborough could get off to a good start. So Solent's going to really need to be defensively focused here, definitely focus on the offensive rebounds. If they want to, you know, get some points up on the board, they might have a slight size advantage. But again, Loughborough has a wide spread across their starting 5 in terms of contributors.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what you think, Jerry.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, Kestrel's probably relying on 2 or 3 people for the main bulk of their points. Loughborough, everybody in the mix. Kestrels need to come out, play some aggressive D and go fast from the start.
And I'm sure they will, and it's almost time for tip-off now. The time for our talk is over. Let's see what's in store from these 2 teams. Let's get hype.
I'm on a mission, I'm paying dues, I'm in position, I'm staying up, it's getting late, you're doing good, I'm doing great, recognition, I'm on a mission, I'm paying dues, I'm in position, I'm staying up, it's getting late, you're doing good, I'm doing great, I know this life is right for me, I know the future's bright for me, I know my teachers lied to me, I do it for the ones that came before and nearly died. I don't need recognition, I'm on a mission, I'm paying dues, I'm in position, I'm staying up, it's getting late, you're doing good, I'm doing great.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Solent Sports Complex here in the beautiful city of Southampton, where the hometown Solent Kestrels will face off against the Loughborough Riders, 2 teams that both suffered defeats last week and both eager to get wins on the board here today on the South Coast. Good afternoon, welcome to this WNBL Division 1 clash. My name is John Hobbs, alongside Ian Berry, guiding you through all the events today. And Ian, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic occasion here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to 2 really good games, and obviously the women get us going today. 2 teams on different paths, different stories this season, but you know, basketball's one of them games. score 0-0 at the start, and we all know that anything can happen on the day.
Absolutely. Solent and Ipswich will follow this game, but it's all about the women here. And Josh is courtside. Josh, what have you got for us?
I have got a fantastic matchup for you here. Obviously, Loughborough come in with Daisy Porter, someone who has been topping the charts in pretty much every metric that can be measured. Only one person on the court can match her like for like, and that is Solent's Tilly Goddard. In fact, it goes down to the decimal point between these two in terms of average steals per game, both on 3.7. Both of them have also averaged over in double digits for points per game, so those two will be the ones to highlight. However, it is a team game. Gabby De Breva-Kostova and Flori Cotter will be hoping with their blocks and rebounds, will be hoping to give the home side a very slight advantage.
Thank you very much, Josh. And it's going to be an exciting encounter here today, as you see Robbie O'Connell in the picture and Tor Freeman there, a South Coast boy in his own right, returning, but not in Worthing where he is from, but rather Southampton. For Loughborough, 9 and 8 in WNBL Division 1, and Solent currently 1 and 14. Solent lost last week 82-70 to Barking Abbey, and conversely, the Loughborough Riders lost to the Bristol Flyers 71-62 in front of a full house at the Weiss Arena. So starting fives for both teams, starting with the Kestrels: Tilly, Goddard, Ruby, Late, Glory, Uzamafina, Fernanda Liberto and Tracy Adegoke will be starting us off for the Kestrels. And for the Loughborough Riders, Daisy Porter will start alongside Emma Dunseer, Lauren Dabbs, Erin Caldwell and Rose Bryan. So you see Tracy Adegoke there in the picture. And for Loughborough, chasing a playoff spot at the moment. Ian, obviously a setback last week, losing to Bristol, and now they come up against a Solent side struggling in their own right. For Loughborough, what will be the key for them today?
Well, yeah, we touched on in pre-coms about the two different styles and the two different journeys that these teams are on, and really what you see is a veteran team trying to solidify their place in the league and solidify their playoff position and get ready for a playoff run. And then in Solent, you've got a young team, heavy rebuilding team, and as coach spoke about, a couple of key players coming back from some injury and sort of on the rise a little bit. And you know, on a day like today, playing at home, nice crowd, good environment, this is a day where Solent will be looking to get a good early start maybe, and see if we can get early timeouts from Loughborough, get under their skin a little bit, and that's what they'll be looking to do.
Absolutely. And for Loughborough, Erin Caldwell returning to Solent today. She was part of the league and playoff double winning team last season, but now in purple today and on the visiting side of matters as we get underway. And straight away, Liberto for two leads Itchin with 12 points a game in the WEABL, and getting off the mark early on as Tilly Goddard with the early foul. And
interesting here, Solent immediately off the score, heavy pressure in the full court, just left one behind at the back, and we see the foul.
So Rose Bryan going to the line for the first time today, and what has been a very quick start to this contest. Loughborough, they do like to run. Solent, a very, very young team, majority of whom comprised by the Itchin College setup. Of course, a vastly changed Solent team from last year. Just Ruby Late, Lily Blunt, Flori Cotterill and Tracy Adegoke are the survivors this season. There's a three-pointer on the way from Late is no good, and away comes the Loughborough Riders. Great to have you on board on the Basketball England YouTube channel. It's a special collaboration with Nothing But Net from Sonar TV. Great to be here on the South Coast today as Caldwell way off with her mid-range jumper, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Solent ball.
Solid defensive stop for the young Solent team there, really locking down the paint and forcing an outside jumper.
Of course, following on from this, it will be the Solent Kestrels men against Ipswich tipping off at 6 p.m. Ozimifuna loses the ball, and away come the Riders with Caldwell. And Loughborough deciding to slow it down. Here is Brian, does like to shoot the three and did think about it. Good defense from Goddard. Again, good defense from the Kestrels. Liberto this time. And it will go out of bounds, and Loughborough will keep the ball with 3.5 seconds remaining on the clock. Great perimeter defense, though, from the Kestrels, as they still have 3.5 seconds to defend. Here is Brian, a three, and that misses everything. And here is Liberto. Late. Inside to Adegoke, who misses the two inside. Late gets her own rebound and puts it in from the foul line.
It's a great early start from Solent. High energy, moving the ball, really good active hands, active feet defensively. They'll be pleased with their start here.
Absolutely, and Ruby Late and Erin Caldwell, two former teammates from last season, just having an accidental collision there at mid-court. First foul on Late. Well, Solent's only victory this season came at home to the City of Birmingham Rockets, where Alicia Jackson hit a game winner as part of a 22-9 fourth quarter. And that will go out of bounds. Good defense there from Lauren Dabbs, and the Loughborough Riders will pick up possession. Good hustle there from Dabbs.
Yeah, but Coach O'Connell will be disappointed with that. They get a good stop, another chance to go down and execute, and they throw it away, and now they have to defend again.
Dabbs gets it back, and tough shot under the basket, and away come the Kestrels with Late. Inside, great basketball there from the Kestrels, and Ozimifuna misses the shot under the basket. And accidentally missed there from Duncier, and away again come the Kestrels. Ozimifuna again misses under the basket. Pace is really lightning quick here, but not a lot of execution offensively.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Solent's pace getting up and down, and they've done a good job in transition of getting bodies behind the ball. Now they just have to play defense without fouling. You know, with 2.5 minutes into the game, we see another foul on the ball, and they'll be close to the penalty if they don't move their feet a little bit quicker and get to the spot a little bit earlier.
Yeah, you say that. Not even 3 minutes has been played, and already 3 team fouls for the Kestrels. Riders yet to trouble the team foul mark. Duncier inside, goes to the floor. Excuse me, that was Daisy Porter. And another foul. This time on Ozimifuna. That'll be her second foul, so early foul trouble there for Gloria Ozimifuna. And she will head to the bench, and Florrie Cotterill will come into the game for the first time. First game back for a few weeks following injury.
Yeah, and this is big now. 4 team fouls so early in the quarter, and they're really trying hard to get back in transition and play physical defense on the perimeter. And this might be a key for this first quarter now. We'll see if Solent can play defense without picking up any more fouls.
Daisy Porter only had 2 points last week against the Bristol Flyers. A tough but very clever defender, especially away from the ball. Averages 4 steals a game as well, so her on-ball defense is just as tenacious as Tilly Goddard misses the layup. And here is Porter pushing the ball for the Riders all the way.
And very smart from Porter, just attack the teeth of the defense, knowing that they're in foul trouble now.
And that's what Loughborough are going to do now, is attack the basket. And a 3-pointer is good.
Generating good looks, and we see this extended pressure on makes from Solent.
Dabbs. Porter driving to the hoop, goes glass. Dabbs gets her own rebound, gets it to go, and a foul. Lauren Dabbs with her first bucket of the game.
And Solent in there really working hard, but they just have to clean up on defensive rebounding and move their feet a little bit quicker.
And into the game for the first time is Wilma Harrison. As Dabbs makes the three-point play. And the game is tied at 7. A little under 4 minutes played in the first. Goddard looking for options, finds it in Cotterill. Goddard for 3, strings a 3. Tilly Goddard with her first field goal of the day.
A much needed, very static offense there, but someone had to make a play and she did.
Leads the team in points this season, 12 points a game, Tilly Goddard. Grew up with this Kestrels team as she gets the rebound off the miss from Bryan. And Goddard is fouled. And great story, Tilly Goddard. Brought into the Solent Kestrels family. Her brother, Josh Goddard, played for the Worthing Thunder many, many years ago, has now coached the team and is now running Horsham Hawks down in West Sussex. And Tilly Goddard now starring for the Kestrels.
Yeah, that's a basketball family. Good pedigree in that family.
Absolutely. As Late goes for a 2, no good. Harrison couldn't get the rebound, but Solent keep the possession, and Cotterill loses the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Loughborough ball.
Yeah, tough one for them, but great energy going and hitting the offensive glass. This is a really encouraging start for the Solent team.
Nearly a backcourt violation there. Daisy Porter just about collects it, and Bryan puts in a 3.
It's great composure from Daisy Porter as well, just to get in, get a paint touch, kick it out, and then we got wide open 3.
Tilly Goddard attacking the basket, and Caldwell with the rebound, and away come the Riders. Bryan again wide open for 3, but that one is off to the left. Daisy Porter with the rebound, bumps Adegoke, and Tracy Adegoke with her first foul of the game.
And you can see here Porter's just relentless, just always attacking, always in attack mode, understanding the status of the game, understanding they're in foul trouble. It's going to be very hard to play defense when someone's in that attack mode and you're already in a penalty.
And that foul, yeah, exactly. And now Solent in the penalty already, and still just 5-7 left to go in the first. Riders with just 1 team foul to their name. And for the Riders, a very decent start, considering, Ian, that they only arrived in the venue 25 minutes before tip-off. Lauren Dabbs had arrived much earlier, but she was the only Loughborough player to have arrived on time. Unfortunately, the Loughborough Riders late into the venue today due to traffic, and as soon as we saw Tor Freeman, gave him a straight question, are we going to tip off this game a bit later? Do you need extra time? No, we're tipping off at 3:30. Such is the determination from his players to get the job done here today. Yeah,
and such is life, that they hit a bit of traffic on the way, and they're a little bit delayed, but credit to them, come out here and match the tempo from a good start from Solent. Interesting to see now whether Solent will stick with this man-to-man defense in the half court, or whether we might see a little bit of zone and try to cover up some of that foul trouble that we see already.
Great to have you on board on the Basketball England YouTube channel, a special collaboration on NBL Live with Nothing But Net, produced entirely by the Sonar TV production crew here at Solent University. We are at the Solent Sports Complex in the university campus. Nearly 60 students involved in today's live stream. It's been absolutely fantastic to see it all in action.
Yeah, it's amazing, and such a good setup here, and a great game day experience. It's growing and growing every year.
And that's what we want for the WNBL and indeed the NBL as well, as we stream our first Division 2 game today, as the Kestrels take on Ipswich, scheduled for 6 o'clock.
Just beat down court here in transition. Coach O'Connell won't be happy with this. I mean, we get beat in transition, it'll be very, very hard to stay out of foul trouble for the rest of the game if this happens. Got to get back, get bodies behind the ball.
Only Glory Ozamafuna with 2 fouls, but a number of players scattered across the big scoreboard straight ahead of us on a foul each, as Lauren Dabbs makes the second foul shot. She now moves on to 4. Only 3 scorers at the moment for the Riders, Brian, Dabbs and Porter, as Harrison makes a 2. Again, that half-court pressure defense from the Kestrels. As inside is Alex Shaw for her first bucket of the game. Alex Shaw coming off the bench for the Riders.
Yeah, into the game and instant impact.
Cotterill looking for Ruby Lake, finds her just about. But she picks up her dribble. Daisy Porter looking for the steal. Here is Cotterill inside. Good defense there from Graham. There's Jasmine Graham into the game for the first time. Here is Porter. Here is Graham inside. Dabbs. Dabbs inside, misses the 2. Still a lot of time on the shot clock, and the Solent Kestrels will get the ball back as the Loughborough Riders lead by 3 with 3:41 remaining in the first.
Yeah, tough take here, but not the best spacing on this possession. Couple of drives where there's already somebody in the paint. We'll be looking to space the floor and spray it a little more.
Late. Stolen away from Dabbs off the pass from Cotterill. Dabbs going all the way and gets it to go.
Tough finish.
See, Lauren Dabbs wanted a foul there on Cotterill, and that will go out of bounds, and Loughborough will get the ball back. Needless turnover from Solent.
And these are the kind of mistakes that, as a Solent team that's struggling, you need to eliminate from the game, as we see a good take inside here.
That was actually the previous play where Lauren Dabbs missed the layup under the basket. Here is Dabbs on the ball. Of course, like Erin Caldwell returning to Solent today. Shaw. Good defense there. And a travel as Gabi Kostova-Dobrova with the defense. Of course, the Solent number 13, a former Bulgarian international and a veteran, the veteran of this Solent team. Late. Looking for options and finds it in Dobrova. Inside to Cotterill. Cotterill under the basket, agonizingly short.
A great offense, they got what they want. High, low, just couldn't convert.
And another foul, so Lauren Dabbs will go back to the line for the Riders.
Yeah, these fouls are starting to rack up.
Absolutely, and already now this will be their 10th and 11th trip to the foul line, and we've still got 2:45 left in this first quarter. And if you're Coach Robbie O'Connell, you mentioned this, didn't you, just a few minutes ago? You've got to be concerned that these fouls will pile up if they continue this kind of defense, and it's tenacious, but they just need to be a bit more smart with it.
Yeah, I think the problem they got is they are trying to match the energy and the intensity of a good Loughborough team, and they've done a really good job with it. But can you sustain that over the course of 40? I'm not sure. I'd like to see them have some different looks, maybe drop some zone a little bit at times, and just see if they can cover up and get to the second half without too many of their girls. They're key players in foul trouble.
Lily Blunt into the game for the first time for the Kestrels, as well as McDowell. Faith McDowell-Dodd. Late off with her three-point attempt. Here comes Dabbs for the Riders. And Loughborough just driving to the hoop at will. And Ruby Late this time with her second foul. So 3 Solent players on 2 fouls, as Lauren Dabbs will return to the foul line.
And that's a tough call there. Looks like she got across, but ref didn't see it that way.
I think her feet didn't look set. It was, fine margins, isn't it, at the end of the day? But it didn't look like her feet were set in time. As Lauren Dabbs, who has scored more than half of her points at the foul line, she now moves on to 10.
Yeah, just relentless going to the basket, keeping them in foul trouble and really putting them under pressure.
Inside, that's beautifully done. McDowell-Dodding going inside for her first field goal. There's Grace Roberts into the game for the first time, and on the ball, the number 24 gives it up to Graham. Graham goes inside. And away comes McDowell-Dodd again, driving. What an impact she's had in just 30 seconds on the court.
Yeah, love this from Faith McDowell-Dodd, just coming in and playing hard and with energy and intensity as we see her go to the basket. Good lefty take, and she nearly gets the roll.
McDowell-Dodd, who had 13 points, 4 rebounds against Barking Abbey last week. 7 of those points actually came in the first quarter, so comes into the game toward the mid to late point of the opening period and really makes an instant impact off the bench. But misses both free throws on that one. Dobrova comes up with the offensive rebound and makes the mid-range jumper.
Big time, much needed there to stay within touching distance.
Dabbs. Inside to Woodman. 9 to shoot for the Riders. Woodman, a corner 3. That's short. Dabbs with the offensive rebound. And again, Loughborough get the ball back, and the shot clock resets with around 90 seconds left at the first. Backdoor cut to Dabbs. Great passing from the Riders. And Woodman couldn't quite finish it off. And here comes Liberto. And Solent will slow it down with a minute left in the first. As Blunt misses the layup. It was good defense from Grace Roberts, former Worcester Wolves player, as Dabbs puts up a 3. That's off the back iron. And Dobrova beats 3 players for the rebound. Here is Blunt.
See if they go 2 for 1 here and take a shot before the 35 or 30-second mark. See if they can get 2 shots out of this.
Dobrova ran into 2 Loughborough players, but will go to the foul line.
And that's perfect. What they want is they want to get to the line here. 37 on the clock, and now Loughborough will have to come down as we see Dobrova with the cool drop step going right. Hopefully she knocks down these free throws now for Solent, and then they get to play some defense, and then they'll get the final shot of the quarter. Really good clock management from Solent here.
Dobrova makes the first, a former Bulgarian international in her first season with the Kestrels.
I think she's going to be key out there with her size and her ability inside. She's going to be key for this Kestrels team to have a chance today, for sure.
37 seconds left in the first. Grace Roberts, very dodgy pass there to Shaw, but she collects it. Graham misses the 3, gets her own rebound. Great hustle there from Jasmine Graham, and she will go to the foul line for Loughborough.
Yeah, and we can see Coach Connell talking about you got to hit people, you got to box out. This has been a big thing for them in this first quarter here. Some of these possessions they've played really good defense, and then they've just given up offensive board. And now the Riders are back at the line, and you know they're getting their breath back. They're not able to get out in transition as much. Got to clean up the glass a little bit.
As Fernanda Liberto comes out of the game, and Sansia Bridson comes in for the first time for the Kestrels. And Ian, you were speaking to former Solent Stars player Ryan Payne before the game, and he's been doing a little bit of one-to-one training with Fernanda Liberto this season. What was he telling you?
Yeah, just talking about her game, that she's as a bigger player, she wants to sort of transition and become more of a guard out there, and she's working to do that. And Solent are trying to put her in a position where she can do that and she can handle the ball. And we'll see how she goes with her skill set today as this first quarter winds down.
About just around a 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock for the first. Bridson a 3 from the corner as we enter the final seconds of the first quarter. Woodman, the bounce pass, gets it back, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. They had an opportunity there, Loughborough, to get a shot off, but decided to pass it around, and that ends the first quarter where the Loughborough Riders lead Solent 22-18 in what has been a fiercely competitive first quarter. However, the story so far is the fact that Loughborough have been able to get to the line at will because Solent got into foul trouble with still 5 minutes and 20 left on the first quarter game clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Early foul trouble for the Kestrels, and Loughborough pretty much lived at the foul line there. But if you're Solent coaching staff now, you'll be okay with where we're at. 4 points down after being in the foul count for a good 6 minutes of the quarter. I think the Loughborough coach would have wanted to press that advantage just a little bit more. And I think if out of the two teams, yes, Solent are down on the score, but they're probably just about the happier team going into the second quarter. Now, as the game goes on, they're going to have to tidy up that defense. They're going to have to clean up those offensive boards just a little bit more. Otherwise, it's going to be tough to maintain throughout 4 quarters. But yeah, really good start to the game, and this Solent team putting up a fight against a very talented Loughborough team.
Absolutely, as the Loughborough Riders 11 for 15 from the foul line in the first 10 minutes. There were 12 field goals combined for both teams in that first period. So it just shows you that free throws were dominant in the first 10. As the Loughborough Riders 1 for 5 from downtown, and Solent faring a little better, 2 for 5. But for the Kestrels, Tilly Goddard now returning to the floor, and it's important for their leading scorer to really, start to stamp her authority on this game, as Caldwell's pass deflected by McDowell, and away come the Kestrels. And here is Goddard on the ball. Cotterill. Bridson. Cotterill just about gets it. Adegoke, the shot clock is winding down to 2. McDowell out of control, and a foul called with 1.7 seconds left on the shot clock.
And I really like this from the likes of McDowell and Goddard, as we see McDowell here just turn the corner, get her hips past the defender and make a play. And she's done this a couple of times now, sort of bailing out what was almost a dead possession. She goes to the foul line, chance to cut it to 2.
McDowell back to the line for the Kestrels, has really energised this Kestrels team off the bench thus far in this contest, showing no fear, driving to the hoop and getting herself to the foul line. Just needs to make the free throws. She's now 0 for 4. As Woodman's pass finds no one but Tracy Adegoke, and away comes Goddard. Cotterill. Goddard at the corner. Back to Cotterill, a 3. And that's in and out. And rebound by Duncia.
It's good ball movement, a shot they'll take every time.
Roberts. Both teams have been flawless moving away from the ball. It's just that final execution with 7 on the shot clock for the Riders. Duncia. Caldwell, they've got to put up something. Shot clock going to 0, and that'll be, well, it was going to be a shot clock violation. Referees are letting play continue.
Yeah, we see the Kestrels have gone to a little bit of zone there. Really able to slow down this Loughborough second unit, and a great defensive possession.
Goddard, a wild hook. And Cotterill gets the offensive board, a bit off balance herself for the layup. Just needs a bit more composure under the basket there for the Kestrels, and nearly a double dribble there from Woodman.
And Kestrels back in this zone, see if Loughborough can figure it out.
Good defense from Adegoke on Roberts, and away comes McDowell for Solent. McDowell now to the races. The left-handed layup is money.
And how good has she been? How good has McDowell been off the bench here?
McDowell now with 6 points for the Kestrels, and they've narrowed the gap to 2 with 8 minutes and 2 seconds left in the second. And as you said, McDowell, we've mentioned it, she has been absolutely outstanding off the bench and has reinvigorated this Solent team.
Absolutely, there's the spark they needed to keep them in the game, and now we've really got a ball game here, and we'll see if Coach Tor Freeman can figure out this zone defense that the Kestrels are in, see if they can get some better looks, not get so deep into the clock. Let's see how they come out.
And most importantly for the Kestrels, they have kept their foul count down. They haven't actually conceded a foul at all in this second quarter with 2 minutes played, or 1 minute 58 if you really want to be exact.
Yeah,
First of our double header here on the Basketball England YouTube channel, as this is a special collaboration on NBL Live with Nothing But Net. Great to have you on board here on the South Coast today. And that will be the last time I interrupt Ian Berry, who was just about to talk there. Already staring daggers at me. This half-time will be very, very entertaining.
See what Loughborough have got against this zone now. Looks like a little 3-2 action.
Solent look very settled playing a zone defense, and it has staggered Loughborough a bit. Caldwell driving to the hoop. Stood tall was Tilly Goddard, and away comes Goddard now. 2-on-1. Goddard going in alone. She had a case for a foul and nearly gets the ball back. Caldwell. Great defense from the Kestrels. Open three, though, misses everything from Duncia. Shot clock down to 8, and Rose Bryant stepped out of bounds, so another Kestrels ball.
Yeah, another stop, and just just to touch, a little pet peeve of mine there when it was kicked out in the corner. We just had the Duncia with a feet over the three-point line. Me as a coach, I want people behind that three-point line if you're going to be anywhere near it.
Solent defensively have been absolutely stoic right now. It's just their offense needs to get going. They found a few gears, they just need to keep it at that gear. And a steal there as McDowell's pass finds no one but a player in purple. Inside it goes to Duncia, who misses the layup. And again, Solent get the ball, so in transition, Loughborough miss their chance to extend their lead.
Yeah, and that's where they're going to have to do some damage in transition. While this Kestrels team are in the zone, they've got to get the ball, get it off the glass, and get down there before that defense is set.
Goddard, currently on 3 points thus far. Cotterill, driving, backing down and scoring. That's what Florrie Cotterill can do. That's her first field goal.
Yeah, really nice from Florrie Cotterill with the drop step and gets to her right hand.
Bryan. Cross-court pass to Porter, inside to Duncia, and the extra pass to Caldwell.
And this is what they've got to do more. Get it in the low post and look for the high post. Get it in the high post, look for the low post. Work together. Flash from weak side to strong side.
Led the team last week with 17 points and 9 rebounds against Bristol, did Erin Caldwell. That was her first field goal of this game. 6 on the shot clock. Adegoke, got to get busy. And she misses the hook as away comes the Riders off and running. Porter under the basket, the extra pass to Caldwell. Good defense there. I think that was McDowell with the block.
Yeah, McDowell playing inspired basketball right now. She pushes again.
Great defense from Grace Roberts there on Tilly Goddard. Here is Goddard, 4 on the shot clock. Harrison, got to put up something. And I think, yeah, the referees are calling that a shot clock violation. It was late coming.
As we're going to see this defense here from the Kestrels. Cotterill just clearing the glass after the nice defensive play.
Bryan, here is Caldwell, marked by Late. Dabbs, and Dabbs' pass just a little wayward there, and just a few miscommunications here at the moment between between certain players of the Loughborough team, and it's leading to just a few needless turnovers.
Yeah, this zone has really stifled Loughborough, and we've had some empty possessions. I think 4 or 5 now have ended in turnovers, or it's been a couple of shot clock violations or close to it. And yeah, the Solent coaching staff will be happy with where they're at, and the Loughborough coaching staff got to figure it out. Girls got to get it done on the court.
And amazingly, Loughborough still ahead as Liberto in and out with her three-point attempt. Dabbs. Porter. Extra pass to Dabbs.
And you can see how narrow Solent are playing in the zone here, really trying to shut down the paint.
Lauren Dabbs way off with her three-point attempt. A naturally good three-point shooter as Liberto misses the two under the basket. Adegoke a three, and she puts it in. And just like that, the Kestrels have a one-point lead. Bryan looking to respond for Loughborough.
Tough.
The floater is money. Rose Bryan, that was a tough play.
Yeah, really nice take with the Euro to get inside and finish.
As I believe that was Tilly Goddard going to the hoop. As that'll be 2 fouls on Emma Dunshire, as you see Tracy Adegoke getting it done from downtown. Played a number of seasons for the Kestrels as Tracy Adegoke, but getting increased minutes this season, and a really talented forward who, you know, is not afraid to shoot the ball, and you saw why.
Yeah, her outside shooting can open things up for them, create longer closeouts, can open driving lanes for other girls, and they're doing a good job of finding shooters. They knock down a few shots. This game could get open. This game could get up and down, and they could open up a bit of a lead for themselves.
Another one of the survivors from last season's league and playoff double winning team. As Goddard strings the second foul shot, and the Kestrels back up by 1 in what has been a competitive game. And for the Kestrels, you would have never guessed they are bottom of the table with how they're playing. So fierce, so determined, and have executed their offense when needed. There's been a few bumps in their road in this game, but overall, Robbie O'Connell has got to be thrilled with what he's seeing. And the better thing is they're keeping their foul count down as well, just 1 team foul.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really their defense that's leading the charge. You know, they've created good looks on offense, and they've missed a few now and again. They've had a couple of sloppy turnovers as well, getting the ball inbounds. But because their defense has been on point, and because they've shut down the paint so effectively and got some stops here in this second quarter, they're right here in the game, and in fact leading in the game.
And watching on is a legend of Solent basketball, the architect, some have called him, Matt Guyman, who is right by where the cheerleaders are, actually, nearer the Loughborough bench. Of course, he will take charge of the men's team later on against Ipswich. In our first Division 2 NBL Live, brought to you in collaboration with Nothing But Net. It's been a fantastic atmosphere around here today, and we spent a long time walking around the Solent University campus and just seeing what is going on with this game, and just the absolute dedication that Sonar TV and Solent University students have been putting into this product. It's really incredible to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I always love coming here. The facility's amazing. You know, the fans are very loyal. They make a lot of noise, even when the numbers aren't through the roof. And Sonar team doing a fantastic job putting on a top-level production for those at home to watch as well.
Pointless fact, this was actually the venue for our first ever NBL Live game in pre-COVID days. Oh, you remember those days, don't we? Where the Kestrels defeated the Bradford Dragons. Then, of course, COVID hit, and the least we say about that, the better. Dobrova inside, agonizingly short. 3:40 remaining in the half. Riders up by 1. As Duncia misses the handle, but Loughborough still have it.
Yeah, back to man now for Solent. So mixing up their defense, and what an outside shot.
Absolutely, there. Jasmine Graham from the wing. And the Riders now up by 4. Biggest lead for either team so far has been 9 points. As late inside, under the basket, over 2 Loughborough players, and she will go to the foul line.
Got this slightly bigger lineup with Cottrell and Dobrova in there, so they'll be looking to get the ball inside and see if they can draw some fouls of their own and get to this foul line, slow the game down.
And Ruby Late, who actually leads the team in free throw percentage, 36%. She's only attempted 1 three-pointer thus far, but having great success inside. And now her first trip to the line. First free throw is good. And it's a one-possession game again with 3:08 remaining. Duncia. Porter driving it late, going inside, and Daisy Porter will go to the foul line. Only the second team foul for the Kestrels. Stark contrast to the first quarter.
Yeah, she's so good, so aggressive, just getting downhill, forcing the defense to react. And if she can find ways to finish or kick out for shooters, then, you know, Loughborough's going to have a great chance in the game.
Currently, Loughborough 13 for 17 from the foul line in this game. Make that 14 for 18. Relatively decent free throw shooting team. 10 for 14 they were last week against the Flyers. If you get a chance to see that game as well, what a game that was in front of a full house at the Weiss Arena. As Loughborough get the ball back off the turnover, here is Porter. Inside it goes to Graham. Graham, tough layup. There was good defense there from Cotterill, who got the rebound, and now off to the races go the Kestrels, and the layup attempt from Liberto is no good. Pace is quickening here. Great defense, or I thought was good defense there from Gabi Kostova-Dobrova, but a foul has been called. As you see, Dobrova just arguing her case there.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of ball there, but Dabs did a great job of being aggressive, getting to the basket and drawing some contact.
That's where I need you for those kind of analysis. Porter. As Graham misses the baseline shot. Late. Inside to Liberto, and Fernanda Liberto will go to the line. And another player, as we mentioned at the top of the show, really excelling in the WNBL, and doesn't seem too out of place. You know, an Itchin product leading the way, as said, with 12 points and just under 10 rebounds a game, so just short of a double-double on average for Itchin. As Liberto splits the foul shots, and Graham with the rebound.
Yeah, and it's always good to see these young products coming through from Itchin and playing in the senior team.
Dabs in her favourite spot. Graham skies above Cotterill for the rebound. Bryan on the spin, and Bryan will travel.
Yeah, got away with one there, another offensive board.
That's 10 offensive rebounds for the Riders in this first half alone. They're out rebounding the Kestrels 27-23, so narrower than you think, I guess, as Ruby Lake comes out and Faith McDowell-Dodd checks in. Liberto at the elbow, but her pass finds nobody but Duncia, and Duncia misses the layup under the basket, almost just about collected, got off the rim there as McDowell has it. Solent fans in good voice here at the sports complex as another wayward pass, this time from, well, it's from McDowell-Dodd again, and Daisy Porter makes them pay.
Yeah, a couple of sloppy passes on the entry there, trying to find Cotterill inside. They're trying to bang it inside to their bigger players, but just need to tidy up a little bit of the entry passes, and we see another turnover. 12
turnovers, make that 13 now for the Kestrels as Tilly Goddard. Good defense there from Rose Bryan.
Yeah, I think it's a fine line for a player like Tilly Goddard. She's got to make plays. She's got to be aggressive. She's going to need to do that in order for them to have a chance to win. But it's a fine line with how much you do that and when you do that in the game. And this one may be a little bit too early. And if you go in that circumstance, you've got to draw a foul or you've got to make a play.
Entering the final minute of the half here at the SSC. Dabbs putting the moves on Ozamafuna back into the game, who was in early foul trouble, and Ozamafuna with the rebound. Another player who really has great energy, as you saw there, but just a little too fast with the layup attempt. Porter controlled but misses the layup. McDowell. Very scrappy sequence here from both teams. Caldwell muscling her way inside. McDowell winded. I think when Erin Caldwell was driving to the hoop, maybe her arm went right into the gut of McDowell Dodd, and as you can see at the top of the screen, she felt that.
Yeah, and just a little collision between two teammates there, a little frustration coming out a little bit, and we hope that she'll be on her feet in no time and okay here.
As you see, McDowell Dodd just going to the bench and in a lot of pain. As you see, Robbie O'Connell going to be happy with how the first half has gone.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy with certainly the start of that second quarter, but just as the second quarter sort of wound down here, the tempo's gone up a little bit, and I'm not sure that favours Solent through 40 minutes. I think they're going to be able to run at times, but through 40, I think they're going to have to control tempo.
Robbie O'Connell is right under the basket chatting to the referees, and I'd like to know what was being said there.
Yeah, we talk about towing the line of when to be aggressive and when not to, and there's no doubt Connell is towing the line with the refs here, so he's going to keep the pressure on him and try to get some calls for his team.
Well, it must have been a technical foul called as Porter makes the technical free throw. Must have been a bench technical on Solent, I guess.
Yeah, big possession here for Solent now. Could really use a score here just to keep it close and keep the pressure on. You don't want to go down double digits to a team like Loughborough.
Well, as said, Loughborough's biggest lead was 9 points, and final seconds of the half need a score here really to stay in distance. As Adagoki short with her two. Cotterill with the offensive rebound, and it rattles in. That'll do. Final seconds of the half, and Dabbs will just let the clock run. In fact, I don't even think she was aware that we were so close to the half, but either way, it's half time, and it's been a very competitive first half of action as the Loughborough Riders take a 36-32 lead. Lauren Dabbs leading all scorers right now with 10 points. Tilly Goddard with a quiet 8 points to lead the way for Solent, it must be said, but quite competitive.
Yeah, great start to the game, and looking forward to the second half.
So it's half time, and Josh is standing by courtside. Josh, what have you got for us, buddy?
Well, we've had action off the court, we've had action on the court. It's been a very frantic first half, off to an electric start from the Solent Kestrels, something we're not too used to seeing from them, scoring first, which is quite a novel thing here at the Solent Sports Complex. However, Loughborough have shown their muscle and obviously stretched into that lead, but they were pulled back. 3-pointers from Solent Kestrels first, but then Loughborough decided to respond with their own long-range shots of their own. Lauren Dabbs and Daisy Porter, familiar names on the score sheet, are making sure that trend continues. But Tilly Goddard is not that far behind on 8 for herself, with Dabbs just ahead on 10 to lead the game. Fortunately, the first half ended on a slightly sour note. Glory Ozamafuna, fortunately, taking a very heavy hit with just less than 30 seconds on the clock. However, just 4 points separating the two sides, it is by no means a done deal and still a very close game. Off the court, however, Robbie Connell has been stealing the highlights. His energetic outbursts, shall we say, have definitely been catching the eyes as he contends and disputes some of the decisions by the referees. Whatever happens, it will sure be set up a very tight second half. However, we now turn our attention to the Solent Ravens for a different kind of entertainment, and I'll give you the opportunity to take in their performance now.
Let them know, baby, let them know, 'cause they can run their mouth, but I'ma stand and pose for you. Let them know, go ahead and flip that switch. No, they can't beat you down, 'cause baby, you're that. Let them know, baby, let them know, 'cause they can run their mouth, but I'ma stand and pose for you. Let them know, go ahead and flip that switch. No, they can't beat you down, 'cause baby, you're that.
A fantastic performance there. A big thank you to the Solent Ravens. A performance almost good as the action on the court. Kestrels only 4 behind. We've had a look at that first half very closely, Jerry. You've picked out a clip for us to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something really simple early on in the game. Florrie Cottrell getting the ball up high. Great basketball IQ, great awareness. You can see squaring up there. Going to hand it off to Tilly Goddard. Sets the down screen and bingo. Tilly Goddard wide open, absolutely nails the three.
Yeah, and what was really important there was just seeing that, you know, the read that can happen. Loughborough's going under the screens, not really taking Solent seriously as a shooting team, so she makes the right read and being able to set a screen rather than perform the handoff. The next clip, we're seeing the fast break from Loughborough coming through, getting a nice, tough bucket in here, so that says something about how they've been playing this whole game, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Just very determined, sort of more skillful, bit more touch around the rim than Solent. But yeah, generally, yeah, it's been a great game so far. Kestrels playing really, really well. Could be shooting a little bit more effectively, but yeah, good start.
And looking at Tilly Goddard in that first clip as well, how important has she been, Lindsay?
Yeah, I think it's been really good that she's been super aggressive to the basket. The team's been putting up a good fight against Loughborough so far. Close game. Loughborough's been to the line a few more times than Solent has. I think that's making the major difference in the score so far. So we'll see how it kind of goes out.
Yeah, I think the foul count in the first quarter in particular puts Solent on the back foot a little bit. 9-1 in favour of Loughborough halfway through the first half. And, you know, it's difficult when a team's on the line halfway with 5 minutes to go in the quarter. And that was borne out by, you know, Lauren Dabbs got 6 points from 6 out of 7 from the foul line so far. And yeah, Loughborough just getting to the line a lot more. The call's starting to even out towards the end of the second quarter, though.
We did see Solent in a bit of foul trouble last week in the last quarter as well. For any team, being in foul trouble, how does that impact the way you play, Lindsay?
Well, I'm not sure exactly how Robbie's handling on the floor, but obviously could impact the minutes of certain players on the team. It's definitely got to push the Solent team to be a lot more aggressive, which we've seen in the second quarter, them going to the line a lot more, at least driving into the basket, drawing the contact. Yeah,
we could see the frustration from Uzoma Funa in the first quarter. Quick fouls again early on. Were they? Weren't they? We're not the referees. That's up to the guys on the floor. But certainly a couple of calls that could have gone either way.
Definitely. You've got one last clip for us as well, Jerry. So let's take a look at that one now.
Okay, so this is just a highlight of some really good team offence from Solent. You know, running the break most of the time, but good ball movement, getting it into the high post, making the extra pass from the wing, wide open three-pointer. Didn't go down this time, but some really, really good offence and some positive things that Kestrels could take out of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something we were highlighting before the match, right, was just the way that they can find each other, be stepping up into the shot when that's the one that's created for them by the team. So for them to put the ball inside, swing it back outside, and get an extra pass for a shot, that's a great team offense for them.
And I think, again, we were talking about Costa the Dobreva's experience and things, you know, getting the ball in the high post, not panicking. Ball comes one way, looking away, looking offside, and sure enough, there were players open. So a good find and good awareness.
And briefly on Kostova Dobrova, Robbie said there'll be limited minutes for her. How important has she been this game?
Tremendously influential so far. I mean, that last clip is a really, really good example. Just that calm head, that experience, getting into the high post, looking offside from where the ball's come from, able to reverse it. Defence has then got to react.
Absolutely fantastic analysis as always, guys. Thank you very much. We will come back to you after the game as well. And Valentine's Day was earlier this week, and couples all over the world celebrated over a fancy dinner. So we couldn't let Solent head coach Robbie miss out on all of the fun. We lit the candles, laid the table, and took him on a Michelin-starred blind date with a mystery partner.
What would happen if you arranged a date for Kestrels coach Robbie and his rival, current Loughborough coach and previous Kestrels coach, on the most romantic day of the year, Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Ben Stanley.
Hello, sexy.
Hello, Ben.
I'm coming round to give you a hug.
He may have taken his job, but it looks like all is forgiven.
Could be a better setting for us on a Sunday night, to be honest.
This is awesome, mate. This is awesome.
Suits you. Nice colours.
Yeah, it's always red, right? Wherever I go, it's red. Can't get rid of the red. It's all right.
It's smart, though. I actually really do like it.
With compliments already rolling in, let's see what's on the menu.
I'm going to wait for yours. We'll do this together.
The gourmet food has finally arrived.
Thank
I'll just get the drinks for you.
Never mind, he's forgotten the drinks.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
They're loving it.
3, 2, 1. Fantastic.
Genuinely couldn't have asked for anything better.
Time to take a trip down memory lane.
So obviously last year you came in mid-season, but that was the first time we met each other. So what was going through your head at that point? I suppose that's a good place.
Borderline intimidated.
Really?
Purely because you're just there and it's like, that's your second game of the night, won both of them. Like, you can tell like you're real busy. Matt's kind of like real busy and I'm just a bit like, yeah, this is a bit different to the under-18 girls conference that I've just come from. No, I think it was like the first game I was assisted for you and it was really kind of just clicked. Obviously you're very tactical, you see a lot more than 95% of, probably more than that 99% of people when they're coaching. But then, yeah, I think it's also that I learnt a lot. And then when I nearly had my meltdown at Cardiff away, when they were bottom of the league, hadn't won a game and they took us to overtime and I was like...
I was watching that score going, what's happening? What's happening? And then I'm thinking like, Robbie must be ready to rip his hair out, like he's going to end up looking like me by the end of this.
And I'm thinking, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. Like,
borderline backcourt violation. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I have a feeling Ben's about to dig up some dirt on Robbie's antics from Loughborough.
Pretty good. You'd gone at the refs a little, but not in a over the top way. And you walked from your box, and you walked all the way up to the halfway line, and you leant over the halfway line, and you looked down it, and then you looked at the ref and went, and walked all the way back to your box. Which was amazing. Genuinely one of the funniest things I've seen a coach do in a game.
So, Robbie, how's it been without Ben?
I do genuinely miss you. But as you know, I do text you a lot when I'm struggling with certain things in the team, and I think having that for me is actually massive.
Having somebody that I can trust and tells me what they think and feeds back to me and points out some things that I might not see. So it's really nice to have that as well. Like, it's a big thing. And it's also really nice to come back to Southampton and have somebody to have dinner with.
But does Robbie feel the same?
When we came up to your place, it was the first time that whole season I was genuinely not a massive strop. And I was like, I even said to myself, come on, you don't see him very often. Don't be grumpy. You've just been absolutely hammered by 50 and you girls haven't listened to you for a whole 40 minutes, but don't be grumpy. And I was still grumpy. And I was like, right, I'm not having that money back at our place. So...
After my girls beat you...
Fighting talk already?
Are you going to leave me?
I didn't want to talk to you after last time. Never. I'd never leave.
Well, no, right, because if I don't get a text on my way back from Newcastle after the game, then I'll know it's over. So I'm going to give you some advice, because I can. If the girls are getting better and they're turning the corner, then you're achieving. Like, the wins and losses don't matter if that progress is there. So I'd say just keep reminding yourself of why you're doing it. All right, D.
Thanks for everything, again.
Hopefully see you soon. You want to come up and watch a game? Let me know.
You have a good one.
With a possible second date, will the offer still stand by the end of the match?
Well, if you've missed any of our fantastic video content from today's broadcasts, you can find them all on the Sonar Events YouTube channel. And we're almost ready to head back courtside, but before we go, guys, any final thoughts ahead of this second half? Jerry, start us off.
So I think from Solent's point of view, they're going to be very happy with the situation. They're staying with Loughborough. They've been playing aggressively, which is great. The clip that we showed earlier around the offence, around team offence, was great. But they need to keep playing for the full 40 minutes. can't take the foot off the gas.
And Lindsay, what's your thoughts?
So I agree. I think the defense that Solent's been doing, the zone they're working against Loughborough is being really effective, frustrating Loughborough, but I'm sure that they're going to make some adjustments in the third quarter. So if Solent's defense doesn't adjust again to that, then I think you'll see a strong Loughborough team come out in the third quarter. Otherwise, we'll see what else defensively Solent has up their sleeve.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. Just moments away from the second half of our double header then. Let's get back into the Solent Sport Complex with commentary team John Hobbs and Ian Berry.
Thank you, guys. As we are set to start the third quarter, we'll talk more about the very dodgy Valentine's Day date in just a bit. John Hobbs, Ian Berry here at the Solent Sports Complex. And some interesting words from both Lindsay and Jerry, Ian. And it seems to mirror that Solent's defence has been solid, but offensively just needs to get going. And for Loughborough, it's just to adjust a little more to the action.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Jerry hit the nail on the head. Solent will be happy with the first half, but it's really about playing for 40 minutes. And you know Loughborough are going to come out strong in the second half. So we will see when we see the adjustments from Loughborough. Obviously, already seen a couple of key players. Lauren Dabbs has got off to a good start with 10 points. And then we'll see if Loughborough's shooters can get loose a little bit. They haven't made too many outside shots versus the zone, and that will really open things up if they start to.
Of course, for the Riders, as said, they only arrived here 25 minutes before tip-off, so the extra 15-minute break will do their health wonders as they rest up and prepare now for this third quarter, leading only by 4. As McDowell puts up a 3 and puts it in, and now the gap is 1, just like that.
Yeah, great adjustment with McDowell starting this second half, and she has been great in this game. See if she can keep that up throughout the 40. Back in the zone here.
Back in the zone, yeah. 3-2 zone here for the Kestrels. Porter. Dabbs to Dunshire. Dunshire deflected away from Cotterell, and Riders will keep possession with 7 on the shot clock. Shot clock winding down. Porter. Loughborough have got a dance here. Cotter, oh, excuse me, that was Caldwell on the buzzer. That's a great off-ball movement there from Erin Caldwell.
Yeah, Caldwell with the great cut down the middle and a really good find as well.
Late. This is the layup under the basket as Porter nearly had it swiped away with authority there from Cotterell. Bryan on the spin, runs into Goddard. Dabs a 3 from the corner.
And here they come, really just come out with a higher tempo here, getting downhill, getting paint touches, and now they're finding shooters as well. If Dabbs gets going, it's going to be tough for them.
Lauren Dabbs' first 3-pointer in 4 attempts. Goddard, risky pass, and Porter, who has 3 steals a game, or just under 4 steals a game, leads the fast break for Loughborough, who missed the layup with Dabbs. Again, the pace exhilarating right now as Harrison misses the 3 from the wing and Dabbs slows it down. Bryan straight away for 3. Third 3 of this third quarter. 2 minutes have been played, and Loughborough now lead by 9, their joint biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, good timeout as we see this 3 go down, and Loughborough just picked up the tempo just a touch. The game has been getting up and down, but now their ball movement, where they're trying to get it to, the intention that they're playing with has just gone up a notch, and it's a good timeout because right now the game is favouring them in that way, and we need to see an adjustment from Solent here.
So far, a 8-3 start to this third period from the Loughborough Riders, who have really got it going, as you see Rose Bryan now moving on to 10 points. Lauren Dabbs leading the way with 13, both connecting from downtown, and Robbie O'Connell there on your screen. His credentials now tested in this timeout.
Yeah, back-to-back threes for Loughborough, and we talked about it just before the half started. That's going to open things up for them, and Solent will struggle to stay in that zone if Loughborough start to make outside shots.
2 minutes played in this third quarter, and already Loughborough, who took a slender 4-point lead coming into this quarter, have now ballooned it to 9. As Solent showing a little vulnerability here. Need to stand up and be counted. Cotterill. Late. Good passing along the perimeter. McDowell, a 3. And Dabbs with the rebound. Dunshire. Daisy Porter driving along the baseline. The extra pass to Caldwell, and Erin Caldwell will go to the foul line for the Riders, and Loughborough really getting after it in this early stages of the third. There's a third foul on Ruby Late.
Yeah, and again, Dabbs does a great job there of just advancing the ball quickly and then swinging it side to side, creates a long closeout, and then we can drive baseline. We've got gaps in the defense, nice drop off, and we're at the free throw line.
Coach O'Connell looking pensive as one of his former players now going to the line for her second attempt, which she rattles in. Erin Caldwell. 6 points, 2 steals in last season's playoff final as a Solent player against the City of London Academy, as Dabbs comes away with the steal and thought about the 3 and double dribbled. She knew it. Just caught in two minds there, was going for the 3 and then thought about the pass and then picked up her dribble and then dribbled again.
Absolutely. You love the aggression on defense for out to get in the passing lane, and then she just got to make a play there, and that time got caught in two minds.
Not often you see a double dribble in National League play, but hey, it does happen. McDowell really showing some confidence for 3, and what defense, getting the steal, and Tilly Goddard getting the 2 under the basket.
Yeah, they're going to need that, those energy plays, those extra possessions. They have to have those in the second half to stay in within touch and distance here.
And another steal, McDowell this time coming up with the ball. And she had to pick up her dribble. Cotterill loses the ball but still has it. Late driving to the hoop. Extra pass. And the 3-pointer is no good from Harrison. Dabbs. Risky pass there, looking for Dunsier, and away comes Goddard. Goddard again picks up her dribble, and Cotterill has it. And Cotterill's pass goes straight to a Solent Raven, who wasn't expecting that pass.
Yeah, big couple of minutes here for Solent. Really need to string a couple of stops and scores together to stay in this game.
They did it all through the first half. But as said, showing a little vulnerability here in this third period as Loughborough have really upped gears as Caldwell inside.
Very smart play there from Loughborough.
Lead is back to 11. Goddard. Quick first step, the floater. And Bryan with the rebound. Good spell from the visitors. Dunsier, the extra pass to Dabbs. Good defense there from Harrison. As Wilma Harrison now with her third foul of this game.
Yeah, and there's good spacing on the break there from Loughborough, establishing the 2 side. You've got shooter in the corner, shooter on the wing. We get paint touch, kick out, and then we've got closeouts that we can attack. Really good basketball.
Dabbs, all the time in the world inside. Just blew by Harrison, and there was no Solent help, and she had a clear off to the basket.
And Lauren Dabbs has her fingerprints all over this second half so far.
15 for Dabbs against her former team. Harrison misses the 3.
Here she comes again.
Dunsier, the extra pass, Porter, and Goddard. Well, a few of the Solent fans leapt out of their seats there thinking that was a big block, but from where we were, it looked like she got some of the player as well. As you see Lauren Dabbs blowing by Harrison, and she had no help defense there, and Lauren Dabbs just a free lane to the basket.
Yeah, and Coach Robbie Connell not happy about that. Just too easy. 2 dribbles to the basket, no help, no resistance at all.
Daisy Porter now becomes the 3rd Loughborough player into double figures with that foul shot. 10 points for her. Without a field goal last week against Bristol, but certainly has settled here today. Averaging just under 10 points a game this season as Goddard, who leads Solent for scoring, misses the layup. She's on 7 points. Loughborough, though, running away with it. Bryant from downtown.
I think that's Brian's third three of the quarter, and she's lit them up in this third quarter here.
13 for Rose Bryan. Cotterill to respond from downtown. She misses everything. Loughborough again off and running. Confidence growing. Inside to Caldwell again. And Dobrova with the rebound, and away comes McDowell-Dodd, head down, driving to the hoop, and she will go to the foul line. My goodness me, do they need some of that energetic play that she brought in the first half, especially the first quarter.
As we see Rose Bryan knock another one down, but yeah, absolutely, we do need some of that energy from McDowell that she brought. Solent really starting to lose a grip on the game at the moment, and Loughborough just flowing with confidence, knocking down shots from the perimeter, driving for layups, finishing inside, finding cutters, and they're just firing all cylinders at the moment.
Lily Blunt and Tracy Adegoke into the game for the Kestrels as Tilly Goddard and Florrie Cotterill take a seat, both really frustrated with what's going on. As you can see, actually, just to the away from the screen, Tilly Goddard and Robbie O'Connell getting a bit animated.
Yeah, frustration starts to kick in. You know, you had a really good first half, you're in the game, and then before you know it, 6 minutes later, Loughborough have put on a huge run here, and it feels like the game's starting to slip away for Solent.
Got to remember, this is an extremely young Solent Kestrels team. Certainly will grow for the future, and this will no doubt benefit them as Dobrova inside answers for the Kestrels. They need some of that veteran leadership from her.
Yeah, absolutely. When she's on the floor, she's such a good presence inside. They have to find her and have to force Loughborough to play defense in the post.
Graham. The extra pass, Duncia misses the long three. As Blunt misses her dribble, here is Dobrova to Late. Late driving, going all the way, and she will go to the foul line. How about Ruby Late has really come into her own a little bit in this game as well, known for her three-point shooting, but today has been really fierce in driving to the hoop, and she's done this a number of times. As she goes to the foul line, and there you see the animated conversation going on there as Ruby Late misses the first free throw. Obviously, we didn't see all of that, but just a little bit animated there.
Yeah, this is normal stuff. Player to coach, you know, they're out there fighting, they're battling, they're trying to get a win, and it's not going their way at the moment. And you know, tempers can flare and frustrations can set in.
Of course, Robbie O'Connell, a veteran of the junior program, has coached under-18 women as well as several junior setups around Itchen and Southampton, as frustration really boiling over as Loughborough will go back to the foul line, and that'll be 4 fouls on Ruby Late, as you see there. Well,
and just another example of Daisy Porter just putting pressure on the defense, and yeah, it might be a bit of a 50-50 bang-bang call. You don't always see them get called, but she is relentless going to the basket, constantly putting pressure on that defense. And again, we see Solent with 3 minutes left in the quarter, and they're in the penalty now.
Huge ovation for Ruby Late as she goes to the bench. As Daisy Porter steps out of bounds. Good defense there from, I believe that was McDowell-Dodd. As Liberto back into the game for the Kestrels, and on the ball, McDowell-Dodd. Blunt. And McDowell's pass deflected by Porter. And Porter going all the way. That's tough layup. Good defense from McDowell-Dodd. And here comes Lily Blunt. And Blunt's pass intended for Fernanda Liberto, but instead again deflected out of bounds. It was a good idea from Lily Blunt, but couldn't quite find it.
Yeah, and some really good defense from McDowell Dodd there on the break. And she just makes a play quite overmatched size-wise and maybe experience-wise, but able to get a hand on the ball and slow down the fast break and get a stop.
Liberto driving at Graham. Layup is too strong, and away comes Porter. And now Loughborough in transition as Woodman misses the layup.
And McDowell Dodd back in transition again. Been really impressed with her energy on both ends of the floor.
Dobrova inside, misses the layup. And Jasmine Graham the rebound. 6th rebound for Jasmine Graham off the bench. Woodman deflected away, and again Solent come up with it. Adegoke one-on-one. Adegoke misses the layup. And Rose Bryan with the rebound.
And again, McDowell Dodd just laying everything out on the line. She is playing hard out there.
Each time, though, both teams get out in transition. They blow the layup as Daisy Porter gets it to go. And a technical foul has been called on Gabby Kostova-Dobrova.
Yeah, I think Dobrova just maybe frustrated with the level of contact down there in the post. But again, we see Daisy Porter drive to the basket. Absolutely relentless and finish at the rim.
Second foul on Dobrova. The technical foul, just talking a little too much to referee Bentz. 16-point lead for the Riders, make that 17 with 1:45 remaining in the third. They have blown this game open. It was a competitive first half, but so far a 22-9 third quarter has swung the pendulum in favor of the Riders. Dobrova backing down Graham, the extra pass, Adegoke in the wing, a three, it's in and out. Liberta came off her last, it'll be a Riders ball.
Yeah, just unable to get it going offensively. Another good look from the perimeter, but unable to knock them down, and they are struggling in this third quarter. Big push from Loughborough here.
Caldwell. Nearly stolen by Dobrova. In fact, she got a piece of it, and here comes Dobrova in transition. Caldwell gets back. Good defense there as Shaw helped out. And Dobrova wanted a foul, and she has to be careful not to get a second technical. Bryan.
Good skip.
An open Graham for three. As Liberto comes up with it. 1-on-2 here. Liberto with the layup, misses it.
Game a little bit stretched now as this got up and down, and Solent just trying to find their footing and get some scores, but it's not happening for them right now.
Shaw inside, too easy. Final 30 seconds of the third. And Jasmine Graham is on the floor under the basket at the other end, and she stayed down. As we see here on the replay, she fell very hard there as well, didn't she?
Yeah, it looked like a collision with Dobrova
Yeah.
just as she attempted the offensive board there, and she's on her feet. Looks like she's going to be okay.
Walking very gingerly, but still clutching her back. Her lower back was the area affected.
And it's that kind of effort and energy that you've seen there from Graham that's led to this run, really. They've been able to increase the tempo, and then even when they have got to the basket, they've had cutters, they've had offensive rebounders, their shooters have spaced the floor really well, and that's led to this, well, near 20-point lead now as we get towards the end of the third.
Liberto, Adegoke, wide open for three. Blunt has it. About a 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock, and Liberto with the foul. And she will go to the line for two. Coach O'Connell said pre-game that Dobrova would be playing limited minutes here today, and so far, you know, she's played around about 15 minutes.
Yeah,
so quite a bit of court time.
It's a difficult balancing act for Coach over there, because clearly they need her size in the game, but when they do have it, they're a little bit slower getting up and down in transition, which hurts them as well. So he's got to balance how much she is out there on the floor.
Final seconds of the third, and fast break basketball personified there from the Riders. Final seconds of the third. Goddard at the buzzer misses everything with her three-point attempt from the top. And from a 4-point lead at the end of the third, Loughborough Riders have absolutely turned this game on its head and now lead the Kestrels 62-41. Lauren Dabbs against her former club, leading the way with 15 points. Daisy Porter and Rose Bryan each have 13 for the Kestrels. It's a very well-balanced scoring effort, even though only 41 points have been put on the board, as Faith McDowell-Dodd leads the way with 8 points, and Tilly Goddard has 7.
Yeah, and although the energy's been there from McDowell-Dodd in this third quarter, they just didn't get the ball in the basket enough and unable to slow down Loughborough. Loughborough got going a little bit from the perimeter. With Dab, really impressed with Dab's ability to push the ball down, and ended actually the quarter on a 26-9 run. And that is huge in the third quarter. And anyone that's ever been in a basketball game knows that coming out of that halftime, those first 4 or 5 minutes of the third quarter, they can just be an absolute momentum game changer. If you get on top in that period, it's so tough going into the fourth, looking at a deficit like they look at now, and against this Loughborough team flowing with confidence, it's just an uphill battle in this fourth for Solent now.
Absolutely, and for Solent, they had a reasonably good free field goal percentage at the half, just under 40%. It's now dropped in this third quarter down to 26, but for Loughborough it's risen slightly to 36. Still quite subpar shooting, but Loughborough are getting it done.
Yeah, absolutely, and on the flip side, Solent just not connecting on what seemed like an abundance of outside shots, whether they were long twos or three-point looks, and that could be the difference in a game where it's a make or miss game. And in that quarter, Solent weren't able to get the ball in the basket enough, weren't able to generate enough good offense, and then conversely, Loughborough did a great job getting out in transition, extending the floor, spacing the defense out, moving the basketball, and then finding shooters as well.
Fourth quarter underway here in Southampton as Porter driving at Ozamafuna. Ozamafuna stands her ground, and here she is on the ball. Adegoke. Inside it goes to late. Ozamafuma with the three-pointer. Very unorthodox three-point shooting method, but it just missed its mark. Here is Porter. Porter driving at the wall that is Ruby Lade, and that's a foul, and that is Ruby Lade done for today. Oh, in fact, no, it's an offensive foul called.
Yeah, offensive foul. Looks like she just got there in time.
Yeah.
And a good stand.
Well, one referee was calling it a defensive foul. The other one called it offensive. Obviously, the offensive foul won the day, I guess, and Ruby Lade lives to play on. As Tilly Goddard, her attempt goes out of bounds, and Loughborough will have the ball, and a full court press here for the Kestrels.
Yeah, and I like it. They've got to change it up a little bit, have to change the tempo of this game to create some transition opportunities and get to that basket.
Ball on the floor, along with 3 players, 2 from Solent, 1 from Loughborough, and the possession arrow favours the home side.
Yeah, just what Coach Robbie O'Connell would have wanted. Scrap up the game a little bit as we see the jump ball here, and they gain possession.
Might be a 21-point game, but both teams competing for everything here. As Loughborough currently 9-8, looking to maintain a playoff push, and for Solent languishing at the bottom of the table, 1-14, looking to restore some pride. As Ozamafuna misses the layup attempt.
Yeah, but you like the aggression, touching the paint, rather than staying on the perimeter and just pulling it from 3 when it's not quite falling from the outside.
Shaw battling against Goddard and Adegoke, and Alex Shaw, believe, will go to the foul line as we see her getting tangled up between Adegoke and then Tilly Goddard at the end.
Yeah, and Shaw just does a good job here of getting early position. And by the time she's that deep, once she catches it, it's very hard to defend. And great footwork to turn, get the up and under, and she goes to the foul line. Well, no, we're baseline out of bounds.
In fact, yeah, it will be an out-of-bounds play. Shaw, turnaround jumper, but off balance as she took it. And Adegoke says thank you very much. Here is Tilly Goddard. Goddard driving at Roberts, and Tilly Goddard will get a foul. So as part of the production here today on the Basketball England YouTube channel, thank you very much everyone for joining us today. Of course, Solent Kestrels and Ipswich will go at it at 6 o'clock in our first ever NBL 2 South live stream. Hope you can join us for that. But I have yet to ask Robbie O'Connell how his date properly went with Ben Stanley. He's not responding to any texts.
I'm not sure that today is going to be the day to ask him about that either. Let's see how these last 8 minutes pan out. But I think if you go and ask him for that, some information on the date right now, you're going to get a very short, sharp, blunt response from Robbie.
Well, Ben Stanley, who isn't here today with the Loughborough team, he's obviously in Newcastle, the Leicester Riders coach, facing off against the Eagles later on tonight as Jasmine Graham moves on to 8. Tilly Goddard with a scoop layup, and that'll go out of bounds, and Loughborough will get the ball back.
Yeah, Loughborough really settled in this second half, running their stuff to perfection. As you saw the weak side cut. Solent's still battling, but you're starting to see the difference in class here.
Grace Roberts inside, and that'll be her first field goal of the day. Former Worcester Wolves standout. Now with the Loughborough Riders. Late loses the ball, and away come the Riders with Caldwell. Good defense though from Liberto, and Liberto fouled by Erin Caldwell. And Fernanda Liberto, that's tenacious defense right there.
Yeah, I'm impressed with not just Fernanda Liberto, but Solent's ability to stay in the game, as we see Loughborough with another transition basket. But they're just battling hard. It's very easy in a game like this to let your heads drop and to stop playing, stop trying hard. And you get a transition possession like this, you don't often see people make a play from behind, down 20, 25 points. But she's in there, she's battling, she's working, and you've got to give her credit for that.
11 points in transition in this game for the Riders. McDowell Dodd inside to Cotterill. Cotterill at the elbow. Cotterill over Shaw. And Alex Shaw stands her ground. Great defense here from Ozamafuna on Jasmine Graham. Here is Roberts. Shaw driving at Cotterill's. Again, good defense again by Liberto. Great defensive stops there in the space of 20 seconds from Fernanda Liberto.
Yeah, and again, encouraging signs here from Solent. You know, win or loss, they're developing, and a lot of young players, and Coach Robbie will be happy with the fight they're showing at the moment.
McDowell Dodd with the rebound. Erin Caldwell tried to get it off her. Here is McDowell. Cotterill looking for Leighton, finds her, the extra pass to Liberto. Great fake there from Leighton, and gets the layup to go. That's better from the Kestrels.
That's great basketball. We had a little pin down, and she slipped the screen, then quick 1-2, and now she's at the basket, pump fake, and she scores the 2. Good basketball from Kestrels there.
We've only seen flashes of it in this second half. Caldwell can shoot them from there. But off to the left, and away comes Liberto. In transition, all alone. And back-to-back scores from the Kestrels, and Tor Freeman wisely calling a timeout, trying to stop any momentum that the Solent Kestrels get.
Yeah, great timeout there. There's just about enough time on the clock that it's feasible to see them get back in this game. And here's that play that we were talking about. Little slip screen, and then inside out, back inside, shot fake, she gets to her right hand, and it's a great finish inside, leads to a timeout.
Getting Caldwell off her feet, clearing some space and getting the shot to go, and Tor Freeman of the Riders has seen enough. He wants a timeout, and for Tor Freeman there as he talks to his players. Another fascinating story. His sister Tia plays for the Essex Rebels in the Women's British Basketball League. And Tor Freeman's introduction to basketball came from a former Worthing Thunder player by the name of Milton Chavis, who was actually staying with the Freeman family during his time on the South Coast and introduced Tor and Tia to NBA players such as John Wall and Kevin Durant. And Tor Freeman's inspiration for getting into basketball coming from Milton Chavis and John Wall and Kevin Durant. That's not a bad little duo there to have a team talk with, is it?
No, of course, and just what you want to see from import players coming over is influencing and inspiring younger generation to be in the game. And here we are with a WNBL Division 1 coach as a result of that influence and that inspiration.
Has won several awards for his coaching for youngsters, especially at Oakland's College as Tor Freeman, but now a proud member of the Loughborough Riders family. Of course, all headed up by Russell Levingston, who operates the Leicester Riders and Loughborough Riders. As Alex Shaw will go to the foul line. Ozumafuna collects her third foul. Was in foul trouble early in the first quarter, but has not managed to commit a foul since then, until just now. Number of Solent players on 3 fouls, just Ruby Late on 4. McDowell inside, good defense there from Jasmine Graham, as Erin Caldwell struggles to brush off Ozumafuna. Caldwell driving, gets it to go. That's a tough play.
Unbelievable finish and just great ball movement. Again, this Loughborough team, so tough, so deep, moving the ball side to side, and then they get the drive and score.
Good defense from Ozumafuna, but better offense from the Riders. McDowell Dodd looking to answer for 3, but that's long. Offensive rebound by Liberto. Ozumafuna driving. Strong layup, but doesn't get it to go. And Alex Shaw collects her 4th rebound of this game, shooting 2 for 3 from the field here today.
Alex Shaw's been really solid for this second unit for Loughborough. Hasn't scored a ton of points, but been a really solid influence inside, sets good screens, good scoring in the post, able to rebound as she gets another offensive board here.
Alex Shaw now will go to the line, chance for point number 6 and 7. And as you say, the second unit for Loughborough, we've not actually spoken about it much throughout this game, but the second unit for Loughborough have really stood out in this game and have been an integral part in them having the lead. 16 points have come off the bench for the Kestrels today.
Yeah, Jasmine Graham, her energy's been great. She knocked down a 3 early on, and she's got up and down really well, got to the basket a couple of times. And then, as we said, Alex Shaw here at the free throw line, just been a rock inside. They posted her up a few times, she had a few boards. Now she's converting at the foul line. Just been a really, really solid presence for that second unit. Keep the scoreboard ticking over.
24 for 29 from the foul line for the Riders. Ozumafuna, here is Cotterill. The extra pass, McDowell Dodd, a 3. That just hits the backboard. Late with the offensive rebound, but Caldwell picks up the loose change.
And now it's the Loughborough zone that's really caused problems in the second half. Just Solent not been able to figure it out.
Caldwell as Grace Roberts now limping as Alex Shaw couldn't get it to go, but Grace Roberts breaking away in transition came awkwardly down on her left ankle as Rose Bryan will look to check in.
And Shaw to the basket again. Her ears must be burning. She's out there just trying to get to double figures now.
Well, she's on 6 points. Still a lot of time. As that's a first foul for Faith McDowell-Dodd, and for a player who has been all action. For her to pick up her first foul, that shows incredible discipline for a player so young that she would only, pick up 1 foul, but have such a high-octane way of playing the game.
Yeah, she's played hard. She's played aggressive. She's been, in my opinion, the bright spot for this Solent team. But unfortunately, the second half just a little bit too little, too late, and they've not had enough.
4 minutes left in this WNBL 1 clash. McDowell Dodd a 3. She's put up a number of three-pointers in this second half, 6 to be exact, but has not been successful. Here is Graham to Bryan. Extra pass, Woodman a 3, and that's no good either. I feel a lot of the points have been coming from the foul line in this second half as Ozumafuna drives to the hoop strong. And Glory Ozumafuna will go to the foul line, and another player really standing out, leading Itchin in the WEABL with 2.6 steals a game, and like McDowell Dodd, a really high-energy player, likes to get up and down the floor quickly, and a tenacious defender as well, as we've seen, you know, in stages with Erin Caldwell.
Yeah, and she's been active today, Ozumafuna, just hasn't quite been able to get it going offensively, but she's been really solid defensively, been getting up and down, just not quite been able to impact the scoreboard as she would maybe like. Averages
just close to 12 points a game for Itchin, does Glory Ozumafuna, as she kicks the ball away in a kickball violation, so Loughborough get the ball back.
Flex action from Loughborough. Cross screen, down screen. Alex Shaw going to work
Shaw,
again.
yeah, Shaw off the glass, no good. Ozumafuna with the rebound. Away comes Liberto to the races, but it's 1-on-4. Cotterill. Liberto inside to Ozumafuna. Nice collection of the pass, but her layup too strong.
And that's been Ozumafuna's day. She's 0 for 7 now from the field, and she's just really struggled to finish inside and to make those key outside jumpers.
As Jasmine Graham's 3 misses absolutely everything. As Loughborough now shooting 34% from the field. Solent not faring any better, 24% from the field, but Loughborough, it seems, have done enough to get the job done. It's not been a very pretty first half after, you know, a thrilling first half that we saw. It's not been a thrilling second half of action, but Loughborough have got the job done, especially in the third period.
Yeah, that third quarter, they really just put the game almost out of reach with the 26-9 run, out in transition, making shots, and it just seemed to get their confidence flowing. And they settled in defensively into that zone, and Solent really haven't had an answer, haven't been able to knock anything down from the perimeter, and maybe some of their players that worked so hard in the first half have started to see a little bit of fatigue out there. We've seen with McDowell, she's been playing so hard but really unable to connect as much in the second half, and we haven't really seen their guards being able to make a play. That coupled with the inability to get the ball inside to their bigger players, and that's led to this run here for the Loughborough Riders.
A 26-9 third quarter, the game changer, as we see Grace Roberts getting the score inside, but then a few moments later coming down awkwardly on her left ankle, hoping she's okay. But she's having a chat with her teammates, having a bit of a laugh, so there you go. She's okay.
Yeah, and it looks like Dad's back in the game just to finish this one off, and yeah, it looks like that's all she wrote here for Solent, but we'll see if they can get a couple of scores, finish on a high and build for the next one.
Solent fans making a lot of noise still here inside the Solent Sports Complex, as we will be giving out the analysis with the team in the studio post-game, so stay tuned for that before the Solent Kestrels take on Endeavour Ipswich Basketball Club in the Division 2 clash at 6 p.m. As McDowell Dodd still somehow has the ball, and here is Cotterill. The extra pass to Liberto, who couldn't quite hang on to it. As Lily Blunt couldn't hang on to the pass from Cotterill, and it will go out of bounds, and the Loughborough Riders will have it.
Yeah, and it's just offences like this. They're doing the right thing. They're trying to run their stuff. We see a little slip screen inside. Unfortunately, the execution's not there. The pass is a little bit off, and it's another turnover.
Solent now with 21 turnovers in this game. As Shaw misses under the basket, gets another attempt, and Flory Cotterill with the foul. Both teams nearing team fouls here. In fact, Solent now in the penalty, but with 1:40 to go and Loughborough with a huge double-digit lead, it's academic now as Alex Shaw returns to the foul line, and Alex Shaw connects on the first, now 5 of 7 from the stripe tonight.
Yeah, Alex Shaw's just been there every moment that looks like Solent might gather some momentum. Shaw's in there, she's grabbing an offensive board, she's finishing inside. She's done a great job with this second unit.
Blunt to Cotterill. Cotterill, a baseline shot, that misses everything. Here is Caldwell. Woodman dabs wide, open three, that misses everything as well. Closing in on the final minute here at the SSC. McDowell driving, and the foul has been called as Cotterill and Blunt share a little joke as the whistle went. It's a young Solent team that obviously will have their ups and downs as their careers progress. Of course, still a very, very young team. And these sort of bumps in the road will only make you more mature and accept that, you know, winning isn't everything. Growing is key as, you know, you get older and mature in your professional career.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see McDowell there still playing hard. She's played hard the entire game, and she's a great example of that. Young player out there, quite overmatched in terms of size, physicality and experience, but she's out there growing from this, and you can see in the future how this will help her as an individual and will help them as a team.
Liberto. Cotterill. And Cotterill loses the ball, and it comes off Cotterill last, and it will be a Solent ball. But a good job, well done for Loughborough. It took a while for them to get going. Loughborough were really put into a competitive environment by this young Solent team in the first half, but as the third quarter wound down, it was all Loughborough Riders as Fernanda Liberto with the steal and the layup at the other end.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head, really. Solent would have been really happy with how their first half was, but maybe just fatigue started to play a factor, and Loughborough showed their class in the second half, and it really shows why these two teams are where they are on the table.
The 15-minute break certainly did wonders for the Loughborough Riders, who arrived here in Southampton with 25 minutes before tip-off. Tor Freeman adamant that the game would not be tipped off late. And they were really forced into a competitive first half, as mentioned. But that 15 minutes of grace really helped them as they will wind down the clock and emerge 73-50 victors here at the Solent Sports Complex. But take nothing away from Solent, it's been an absolute battle for them here today. They have not laid down, they have really taken the game to the Loughborough Riders and can be proud of what they have done here in front of their home crowd. Lauren Dabbs against her old club with 15 points, leading the way for the Riders here today. Rose Bryan and Daisy Porter with 13 points each, and Erin Caldwell against her former club, chipping in with 12. Tilly Goddard leading the way for the Kestrels with 9, and Faith McDowell-Dodd with 8 points, and Fernanda Liberto with 7. Final word from you, Ian.
Yeah, as we said, game of two halves, really. Good to see them compete, a young Solent team against a very experienced Loughborough side. Just too little too late in that second half, and that third quarter run, really, really impressive from Loughborough. As you mentioned, the likes of Lauren Dabbs, Brian, really Daisy Porter, any number of these girls. There's, I think, 6 players over 8 points, and they had their fingerprints all over the game.
So it is ended here. Loughborough coming out on top and improving to 10-8 in WNBL Division 1 as their playoff push continues. Solent now 1-15 and staring down at the basement of the WNBL Division 1 table. Plenty for Jerry, Lindsay to think about as we hand it over to the studio for their analysis on what has been a good victory for the Loughborough Riders, 73-50 over the Solent Kestrels.
Thank you very much, John. Yeah, 23 points splitting the teams in the end. It was only 4 at half-time. Jerry, where did it go wrong for Solent?
Well, we said pre-game that Solent were going to need to play for the full 40 minutes. And for 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes, they competed fantastically well. It was a great display, full of grit and determination. Not the prettiest basketball, but they stuck with it. But third quarter, just took the foot off the gas. Concentration went, especially defensively. And, yeah, Riders were able to explore that. 26-9. Kestrels just don't have the firepower at the moment to come back from that bigger deficit.
Yeah, we were talking about it, saying, you know, the third quarter is going to be the biggest factor here. Obviously, Solent took a 25-point lead. I don't think that Solent has the people in their arsenal to be able to come back from a lead that big in terms of scoring facilities. So we saw a big push from them defensively in the fourth quarter. You can see the scoring margins were much closer. It was great to see that fight that they put in at the end. Especially McDowell in there put a lot of energy into driving to the basket, you know, going for rebounds as a guard. But they're not going to be able to come back from that big of a deficit. So,
yeah, I think there was some good, tenacious defensive performances, especially in that fourth quarter, as you were saying. McDowell, Liberto, Tilly Goddard showed flashes. Gloria Zomafuna came back into the game, having had a knock at the end of the first half, and brought lots of energy again, as she does. And Ruby Late as well, missing out early on foul trouble, but when she came back in, it made a difference too.
Yeah. Definitely. We'll have some more analysis shortly, but let's go back to Josh courtside. He's got an interview with Riders player at courtside.
And so, Lauren, you are the top scorer today. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels good. It's nice to come away and get a win, so we're happy.
You arrived here quite late. Travel didn't go quite as smooth as everyone wanted, but you came here and put on a fantastic performance. That's got to feel pretty good as a team to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you never know how it's going to go with travel, so we just try and be as energetic as we can in the warm-up and just try and prepare ourselves as best as we can for the game.
The first half was really tight. There's only 4 points in it at half-time, but come the third quarter and the fourth, it completely changed the dynamic of the game. Suddenly you were racing into the lead. What was said at half-time to cause that change?
I think just to calm down, just remember how we like to play. I think one of the things we're trying to work on is to be consistent over full quarters. So it was nice to start the third well. We can't complain really.
That win does take you closer to the top of the table. You are flying so far this season. What are you hoping the rest of the season has in store for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. We never know how the rest of the season's going to go. It's so up and down with our league. So yeah, just trying to ourselves be as best as we can going into the playoffs, and we'll be in a good place. So yeah.
Finally, that does complete the league double over the Solent Kestrels this season. That's a pretty good feeling to take home, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. It's nice to come away and get a win. So yeah, we're really happy.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and well done today.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Well, a back and forth first half, an easy one for Loughborough in the second. Let's break down those final 2 quarters now. Jerry, you found the first clip for us. Shall we have a look?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so here we've got Loughborough on offence, some good defence. And with the steal, the shot was blocked, loose ball. McDowell corrals the loose ball, full court, left-hand finish. Nice play from a very young, very inexperienced player.
Yeah, what was important about this clip in particular is just kind of the urgency behind it. This is right before halftime, giving Solent an extra basket to make it a 2-point game. So Loughborough called a timeout right after this, so you can really see the push from Solent. It's a close game, the energy is really there, so it's really great to see that aggressiveness coming from them.
Definitely. We'll look at the next clip that you've pointed out for us as well, Lindsay. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and here's just a Loughborough offensive, good possession for them, swinging the ball around, attacking the basket, and finding the extra player that's cutting into space. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, you know, Kestrels, we were talking about this earlier, about from an earlier game that we'd seen, that you know, defence turning their heads, turning their back, getting caught, ball watching, weak side cut into space in the middle. Nice find from the baseline penetration.
Is that what happened then, Jerry? Did they just get caught off guard too many times?
Yeah, I think a lack of experience, lack of concentration at times, but I mean, take nothing away from Loughborough. You know, they played a really good game, kept their calm when it was tight, came out, put the foot down at the start of the third as we thought they might, and yeah, that was it really. From that point on was game over. Riders, you know, thoroughly solid performance. Yeah,
very true, because we did point out across the scoring board for the players in Loughborough, you're going to find, you know, 10 points per game, 9 points per game, 8 points per game. So everyone on the court can contribute. So you really can't take your eyes off them on defense. There's always going to be someone looking to score, regardless of who the defense is fixated on in the moment for Solent.
And do you think, Lindsay, maybe is it a case of that experience that Kestrels don't have that Loughborough maybe do, or what's the difference there?
Yeah, I think it just ties into the playing the full 40 minutes, really. You know, the third quarter is really turning point quarter for a lot of teams. So you have to know Loughborough doesn't want to be down right now. So they're going to push as hard as they can in the third quarter. So you got to come out with all that defensive energy and focus.
Certainly a turning point. And Jerry, we've got one last clip as well that you picked out for us that we can take a look at.
Yeah, so this one we can see highlighted there. Again, this time it's Loughborough. Defence has turned their heads. Open space, Florrie Cottrell able to see over the top. Nice step through from Ruby Late, draws the foul and goes to the line. You know, I think Ruby Late had a really solid game for Kestrels. Third-year student at Itchin, so a little bit more experience. Florrie Cottrell too, you know, able to see the floor, a little bit more basketball IQ.
Yeah, and then this just also hammers the advantage that Solent created for themselves most of the time, especially in the first half. When they get the ball inside, it was a huge threat against Loughborough, so a lot of the attention went to that player, whoever was down in the low post, allowing for extra passes, handoffs, whatever, to get to the basket. So they didn't take advantage of that as much as they probably should have in the game, but it was good to find some clips where they were able to execute on that, especially in the second half.
Absolutely, and Jerry, we'll come back to you as well. We put a lot of focus on Florrie Cottrell before the game. She returned from injury today. How was she? Did she play well?
I think it'll take her a little while to get back to form and to get back to full fitness. I think, you know, there were flashes of the old Florrie, but I think there was also, you know, areas where we could see that, you know, she was clearly not 100% fully into her work.
And Lindsay, very briefly, one last time, where does the Kestrels go next? What do they need to improve on?
You know, as long as, I think from the interview, what Ben was saying earlier, is as long as there's progress, there's progress. There's always something to be gained. You know, I've coached teams in losing seasons and winning seasons too, so it's really just about keeping that fight alive and knowing that there's growth regardless, especially with the youth of the players here. There's other, you know, steps that they can take for basketball later on, so just progress for them.
Yeah, I think, you know, Kestrels were fully aware that this season was going to be a difficult season, and I've been impressed with the way they've stuck together as a unit. You know, it's not difficult. You're losing 14 of the 15 games that you've played. You know, that's always going to be tough, and especially when they're such a young team as well.
And fantastic analysis as always, guys. Thank you very much. Well, the Kestrels will take on the Cavaliers next Saturday. Can they turn the tide around on a tough season? But don't go anywhere here on Basketball England's YouTube channel, as we've got NBL Division 2 action coming up next with the Kestrels taking on Ipswich. Don't go anywhere here on Nothing But Net. Stay tuned, but for now, goodbye.